Hi there, beautiful souls. I wanted to quickly tell you that I am going to be breaking this video up into two parts. This video is all to do with EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. I will be adding this therapy into my repertoire, so I look forward to discussing this further with you. I hope you enjoy part 1 and part 2, and I will see you in the next one.
So it's really using the our talking skills to really try to identify what feelings come up. And what happens is when we start tapping, so we have these meridian points that are connected to our nervous system. And at this point, I'll just show you what they are. And then I can highlight to you the ways that we would use this sort of to identify the fear and the emotional trigger at the back of it. So I would start by tapping on the side of the wrist here. And then I would start talking about the anxiety that's living in my body, the fear, the resentment, the sadness. So we would start, I'll use this as an example. So I'm having all of this anxiety living in my body, all this fear and anxiety, all this worry and doubt that is living in my body. I am so anxious right now. I am so fearful and anxious. I worry about being out of control within my life. But with all this worry, I still love and accept myself completely. All this worry, all this anxiety, it's living within my nervous system. I still love and accept myself completely. And with all this worry and all this anxiety, I question whether these thoughts are true. Do I need to hold on to this anxiety and this story from the past? Or is it time to release this story and choose a new story to believe instead? All this anxiety, all this worry, I believe it's time to release it from my nervous system now and allow the truth to shine. Allow my confidence and inner love and trust to shine through. choosing a new story now. I am trusting myself and my own ability to choose the best story for my life. This old way of thinking no longer serves me. And I am choosing to believe in myself and my own ability. And breathe. And what this actually does is this calms the nervous system. So it's a way of accepting that you feel those feelings, and you don't need to rush to change those feelings. But it allows you to mentally see the truth for what it is, and the fact that we've been telling ourselves these stories and believing them. And this just brings those feelings to the surface and allows the nervous system to release. So this is and it's so relaxing as well, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get into, because it's a lot of people that have never done anything like this, you know, never worked on these meridian points or even known that this is the way trauma lives within the body. So it's going to take a little bit of practice, but obviously, as I say, working with me going forward, then I would be sort of in effect holding your hand through this process. However, you've got to understand that when these uncomfortable feelings come up and surface, which they will, so maybe you may need to purge, you may need to, you know, really cry it out, maybe you might get angry, maybe, you know, the whatever the emotion that comes up when you've done this work, you need to understand and say, this is part of the process and this is where I need to be to release this. But you've got to be responsible for your feelings. Okay, so when these uncomfortable feelings do surface, you need to articulate that to your brain and know that, you know, this feels really not very nice and strange, and I'm getting angry, look. But then you need to really self-counsel to say that this is what I need to do to get rid of these feelings, and just be patient and persistent. And so what I'll get you to do then would be to write down these thoughts and feelings that come up. So it may have highlighted to you, your brain may have took you back to a moment from the past and highlighted to you a certain situation where, you know, you thought, oh my God, that traumatic experience that I went through, I'm remembering the thoughts and the feelings of that, and I didn't even know that I felt that way, and I'm feeling like that feeling made me feel very angry, and the back of the anger was that I felt like I was going to be abandoned, misunderstood, and when that happened, I can now understand why I've been carrying that feeling around. So when these thoughts and feelings resurface, I would then get you to write down these thoughts and these feelings, and we would use those thoughts and feelings to affirm. So, for example, it would be a case of, you know, the negative feeling would be, I'm fearful of abandonment. And then with the learns, what we would do is in effect turn that on its head, and we would then make it, we would affirm to say that I am responsible for my own feelings and actions. I am no longer fearful of abandonment. Or, you know, we would use those words to really combat that feeling. And then you would affirm with that daily, so we would call those learns. And very much like the affirmations that I put out, and this is how I've done it. So I've learned what is triggering to me, and then I've affirmed for the opposite. So, and this is how I would do it with my clients. And obviously I would either get my client to do personal affirmations, or I would personalise affirmations for them. And then we would affirm with those learns for a minimum of 21 days. And what that would do with daily affirming in that way, that would reprogram the mind. So not only would we be working with the EFT and what that comes up, what that shows and highlights, and releasing the blockages, but then with the affirmations, we are in effect reprogramming the mind. And then with regards to the manifestation, so long term, as the process goes on and the affirming, and you start to reprogram the mind in a positive way, your feelings, your thoughts will naturally change to a more positive outlook. And then we would also look at the end scenario. So we would live in the end. So we would visualise, going forward 6 months, a year from now, being happy with a partner, no longer having these blockages within, and so those blockages are free. And you would envision what that felt like to live without these insecurities, that dream job, travelling, what that would look like, with visualisation or affirmations of what that would be specifically for you. So this is why I'm really happy with thinking of ways that I can use EFT and the process of it. So I will be putting all this information on these packages as I do more videos on this, and I think this is where I'm going to start to really specialise now. I mean, obviously I can work on the anxiety side of things, and that's that is something that I've got a lot of knowledge in, because obviously I've gone through such an anxiety journey. I've got a lot of knowledge with nutrition, which again I could always use this knowledge to help my clients if it's health anxiety, or this is part of the blockages because of sort of distracting with not very healthy foods. These are all sort of add-ons that are possible. So, but I just wanted to give you this exciting news and to show you, the technique of EFT. And as it progresses for me, I'll be able to put out more videos and show you more of this technique as I go along. So thank you. I think I'm going to probably, split this up because it has gone on. And I like to do this spontaneous speaking because I feel like, doing it another way for me would just be restricting. So I'm just going to do it the way Jen wants to do it and split it up and hopefully you know get a lot of information from this, and you understand a little bit more about EFT and what Nutritious Lives are going to be able to provide for you going forward. So have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and click the little bell icon, so when I upload new videos on EFT and affirmations, manifestations, learns, all the rest of it, that comes straight to you. So I'll see you in the next one.